The changing landscape of the housing market in Las Vegas requires a real estate professional that understands how to get your offer accepted, willing to go above and beyond for service and accountability. Hi, my name is Dan French, and I'm a California native that transitioned to Las Vegas 19 years ago. I've been in the real estate and financing industry for over 13 years. Most real estate agents struggle with answering their phone, returning phone calls, and overall structure running a solid real estate business. Many of my competitors do not have the knowledge of how to write solid offers to legitimately have your offer looked at, and they work with a commission-first mentality. I will roll up my sleeves and work hard to find the right home for you regardless of the time it takes. Please call me directly 702-557-6176 to start the process of finding the right home for you. I'm available 7 days a week for all your real estate needs.
Dan's a fantastic man. He really is.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome.
You guys know what time it is. It's the French Workbench podcast time. It's Tuesday, and we got a full studio here. Guys, we got a great show for you today. You guys want to tune in? Going to talk a lot about a lot of things. A lot of people have a lot of ideas.
All the things, yeah.
All of Shannon's themes.
We have Esther Rodriguez here from My Pink Hair. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about what's happening with my pink hair. Yeah, all the hair that I have, right?
Yeah.
Which is
pink
not
hair.
You have red hair, now you have pink hair. What is it?
No. I used to have pink hair.
Okay.
Now I have, clearly it's not pink anymore.
I got you. So anyways, guys, if you don't know this channel, this is the most real behind the scenes information regarding financing, real estate, money talk going on here in Las Vegas. And I'm going to go across the room and introduce everybody. Today we're going to talk about, like I said, Esther Rodriguez with My Pink Hair. We're going to talk today about the ladies and what they talk about with. This is like a month, right, for women? Like,
we'll talk about it later.
Yeah, is this a month? It's not
National
the
Women's
month. It's not the time of month.
day.
What is it?
Joe, wow. See, Joe's on it.
It's international.
Okay.
I'm sorry,
All right.
International Women's
International, sorry.
Let's get right into it.
I didn't realize Canada was about it, but
Absolutely. So first off, you guys know who Joe Dragon is. Joe, what's up, buddy? How are you?
I'm doing great. I really digging that intro beat. That's some hot beats right there.
You like that?
Yeah, I want to get some lights in here. Start dancing on the table or
We
something.
are in Vegas.
Dude.
Dancing on the table.
Yeah.
Joe, you go first.
I can't do. We're talking about Dan's back hair earlier.
Yeah, we're talking about my back hair.
See that?
You guys don't know about that back hair, do you?
Yeah, you just
that
told me.
wildebeest.
Yeah, I got
That wildebeest
I
in
know.
you.
I have the same problems. Yeah, it's so bad, so bad.
Shannon, what's going on? How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing good. It's been a busy week so far. You know, kids' business, working on a new course.
Oh yeah, what's that about?
Oh, I'm not going to tell you yet, actually.
You don't know. Oh, so you have a
No,
new
I
course.
do know. I'm just not telling you yet.
Okay, is this like a surprise for
Yeah.
everybody?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll tell you when
Well,
it's
what do you
time.
mean by course though? Like a training?
Yeah.
What did she just
Online?
say?
Yeah. So
Well, I'm just trying to get a better definition of what we're talking about.
I'm going
like-
to do an online course, but I'm going to start it off with some live ones so we can actually interact, answer questions, but I'm not going to tell you the subject matter nor the date, not until I want to.
Are there any tests? Final exam?
Oh, that's
There's
actually a
always a
good
test.
idea. I
Yeah.
like that.
The quiz.
That would be fun.
So
It's
Shannon's
a
been up
quiz.
to putting a course together, right?
Yes.
And you guys have a lot of information to talk about today about, I don't know, it's like Women's Month or is it Women's Day?
Something like that. I don't know what
okay.
women are.
Okay, I don't know either.
International Women's Day.
National Women's Day.
International.
International. Oh, I thought it was like locally. Now it's national. Now international.
Yeah, the world is recognizing vaginas.
So is it like Mom's Day all over again? Like, you know what I mean? Don't we already get like a Mother's Day? You know what I mean?
Oh my goodness gracious. We're going to kick him out, you guys. Dan's out.
We're gonna roar.
When
all
is
night.
Men's National Day or
Every day is
International
your
Day?
day.
July 4th.
All we get is the big piece of chicken, like I said, right? July 4th.
July 4th. We have fireworks and everything.
Let's go over to introduce here Corin. Corin, what's going on?
Hey. How
That's
are you
it?
guys?
Oh, I was like,
Oh my
okay,
God.
hey.
You know what? It is International Women's Day.
Okay.
March, honestly, is the whole month, honestly. So, you know, I want to talk real estate and women. This is where I live.
Is this
So
where
I'm
you
super
thrive?
excited about this
on
show
fire.
tonight. I love it, love it, love it. So,
Excellent,
Jump
excellent.
on
So
in.
we're going to go ahead and introduce our guest of honor, the one and only, the person that knows all about hair and pink hair, Esther Rodriguez. What's going on, Esther?
Please
Hi,
educate
everyone.
these.
Oh, she's gonna.
Esther!
You school them right
So,
now.
so let me ask you a question, Esther. You have a company named My Pink Hair, right?
Yes.
Okay. So let's go ahead and talk to us a little bit about what your company does and introduce yourself. You know, how long you've been in Las Vegas. Talk a little bit about you.
So I wasn't born in Vegas, but I was pretty much raised here. So Vegas really is home for me. I have a lot of family here. My Pink Hair, we are an all-service salon. We do have a sister company called My Sweet Boutique on the
Nice.
northwest side of town. And at My Sweet Boutique, it's more of like a med spa. We do laser hair removal. We do laser
And-
skin tightening treatments, body contouring, surgery and plastic surgery is very, very popular now. So I have a couple girls that do like aftercare for post-op after surgery.
Oh, interesting.
We have some teeth whitening, permanent makeup, paramedical tattooing.
Nice.
So, you know, after people have breast cancer, if they need areola restoration, belly button restoration. My salon locations, which are My Pink Hair Salon Suites, it's all kinds of beauty services. So there's not a lot of med spa at those locations, but we do have an amazing massage therapist. She's booked solid. Clients are loyal to her. And then just, you know, hair, nails, lashes, everything beauty, really.
So let's take a look and see where she's at here. I want to go ahead and bring this up. So this is her. This is where she's at. One of her properties, is that right?
Correct.
So this is right off the 215 freeway, and if you guys don't know where that's at, that's Green Valley right there. Okay. And
He's using Google Earth.
yeah,
right?
I'm using Google Earth. It's
Satellite images?
Yeah, satellite images. And then
Like
so
yours.
just to kind of get an idea, I mean, look, this is where we're at, right? Here's Maryland Parkway. Coming in here, here's 215. So this is your website, right?
Yes.
Best of Las Vegas.
Nice
girl.
website.
Yeah.
Yes,
4
thank you,
years in a
guys.
row.
That's beautiful. HARE.
Yes.
So
Hair
so it's
spelled
it's
like
misleading a little bit to me because I feel like, you know, when you look at this, what you talk about, it encompasses a lot more than just hair.
It does.
Right?
I
So
think-
it's kind of like My Pink Hair. Should it be My Pink Hair and body and piercings and tattoos?
Man, it's just
My
it's
pink everything.
grown. It's grown so much, and I remember. So you just finished telling me earlier, like, do you have stories? I remember when I started beauty school, really because I wanted to get out of the house. I was like the child that was like always getting in trouble. I'm the baby out of 5 kids, and
Yeah.
I just wanted to get out of the house. And I wasn't 18. My mom's like, the only way you're getting out of the house is if you're going to school for something. You're not getting out of the house just to work. So I remember I literally got on a bus. I was 17. I got on a bus and wanted to enroll myself into something to not have to go back with mom and dad.
That's
And
amazing.
I'm at the beauty school and I'm trying to enroll myself, and they're like, honey, you're not even 18. Like, you need a parent to sign. So I'm like,
Wow.
fuck, I gotta call my mom. And so I'm like, I thought you were upstairs. I've been calling you all morning. And I'm like, I need you to come sign paperwork. Like, I'm not going back to Cali. I'm going to beauty school. And she used to bribe me. The week after I graduated beauty school, I found out I was pregnant. So I'm a mom. I have a 15-year-old son.
Nice.
Get it.
Nice, yeah. I remember clients always
Awesome.
telling me, like, wait till he's a teenager. I get it now, you guys. I get it. He's a teenager. But my mom used to tell me, you know, you're a single mom and come to Cali. I'll open a salon up for you. And I'm like, I don't want you to bribe me with a vacation, a car, shopping. Like, I don't want a salon. I don't want to babysit girls.
Right.
I already have to babysit baby daddy and my son. Like, I'm not trying to babysit 10 other girls. So you're right. Like, it's a little misleading because I never wanted a salon, but I have no regrets. I'm very, very happy. I adore all my girls. We have a great, great relationship. We go out dancing. We go out drinking. They come to my house.
Where's your favorite place to dance and drink?
I don't know if I have a favorite place. I'm very
all good there.
I'm a Leo. I can have a great time anywhere.
You said, okay, so you said that you didn't want to open a salon.
No.
You
Yeah,
did
tell
not
us
want
about the
anything-
setup because I
Yeah.
love the setup of.
Well, because you
The
you said
suites.
you're opening up your 4th location,
Yes.
which she was telling us that prior to us going live. So you're opening up your 4th location. So what made you say, okay, I'm going to open up a salon where people can come in, rent space, create that culture, and then you just now are compounding it? What happened?
So, life. It really just kind of was an opportunity, and I couldn't say no. So many of my friends that I went to beauty school were like, "You're so good at teaching. You're so good at speaking. We love being around you. You're so social. Like, you should own a salon. Like, we would work at your salon." And I'm like, hell no. Like, I'm not trying to babysit you guys. No, I already have to take care of myself. And I found an opportunity. I opened up my first location within a year and a half. Even though it was my opening up my first brick and mortar location, I had been in the industry already for 13 years.
Right.
So I was in the industry for 13 years. So I had built relationships and networked, and I had a full clientele. So it was only a year and a half of opening up doors of a like brick and mortar building, and within a year and a half, we were voted best of Las Vegas for our first year.
Wow.
And immediately had a huge wait list for our first location.
And did you start on your own? I'm sorry, you say we, or did you start with partners? Or
I don't know why I say we. Maybe that includes God. I don't know. It's just me.
Well, I'm sure there was other people that helped out, right? I mean, it was just all you?
Financially, yeah, just me.
Well, I mean, just getting it started and getting it running.
I had an assistant at the time that would help me pick up my son while I was building cabinets and painting.
Okay.
But no, I do the plumbing. I had one of my girls' assistant once call me the handyman, and she's like, "Oh yeah, the handyman told me how to clean the sink." And she's like, "Baby, the owner?" And she's like, "No, the realtor's always in here fixing stuff."
Like, that's the
and
owner.
so I'm like, "Did
Good
your
for
help
you.
think I was the help?" And she's like, "Yeah."
So have you created all the systems too when it comes to, I'm sure that you have systems and tools for your girls that come in and rent space and work out of there. Like, have you
So-
created all of that as well? The
Well,
back
they're all
end?
private suites.
Yeah, so
what I
yes,
love
but
about it
no.
is private suites. And then you also help these women. They're all independent,
Yes.
also business owners as
Right.
well.
So you guys asked me earlier, like, why or how did this go from like you didn't want it to now you're doing it?
Yeah.
And now we're about to open up our 4th location in Henderson. I didn't want it, and I got tired of working at salons and not being happy. I got tired of working in salons in a salon full of women and just things that I didn't like that aren't me. Like, I'm not into drama. I'm not into people not getting along. And that's a salon environment sometimes. You hear the same story over and over. People can't stand each other. And I just got tired of that environment, and I wanted a healthy environment to work in. So I got to the point where I needed to create it for myself. And I'm like, and even if it's just a big building and it's me, at least I'm not around all that negativity.
Yeah.
And my friends know how I am. So the moment I opened, it literally just blew up. We had a wait list. When I opened up my 2nd location, I was a full house before our grand opening.
Wow.
So that location is about 2,400 square feet. It has 8 suites in it and an open station, and we were a full house before. And it's just grown and grown.
awesome.
That's amazing.
We kept winning Best of Las Vegas,
Congratulations.
and my girls are amazing. And I don't know, I never wanted a salon, but we're
So,
here.
I love her space. I have availed of Esther's services and also some of her suite people. I mean, it's just amazing. I sit there and I'm like, you know, we're so stressed out. I'm so stressed out. A lot of times I almost fall asleep when she's like doing whatever she's doing.
What is the craziest? I know that you said you have tattoo removals, right?
Oh, we don't do tattoo removals.
You
Where
don't
did
do.
you even get that?
I thought you said you did tattoo removals.
permanent makeup.
Permanent makeup.
Oh, I thought you were doing like tattoos, and I thought you were doing
Permanent
okay.
makeup's
Cancer,
tattoo.
Yeah.
for cancer patients, like
Paramedical.
Oh, I
tattoo.
see.
Paramedical.
What do you need? What do you got?
I don't know, because I was gonna say like
He's
we're
just perkers. I was like, I need to get this
Yeah.
tattoo.
You know
I
what?
gotta
It's his,
go.
tramp, it's his tramp stamp. Yeah.
I've been waiting for this for a
Underneath his
long
back
time.
hair.
you gotta find it first.
They find it.
Dan, ew. I'm
Just
so,
take your girl's word for that.
All right, so let's talk a little bit more about your situation. So, where did you get started? Like, what made you start this business? Like, where did this all get started in your mind?
Being unhappy in the environments that I was in, wanting to create an environment that was healthy and happy and productive. And I then rented my own suite at a place, and I loved the privacy. And I know I used to do a lot of hair extensions and people who were thinning and balding. And I realized that some of my clients, when we take off their hair extensions, they're subconscious and they kind of look around and they love the privacy of closing my suite door and being bald and them not having to be exposed to a whole salon.
Right.
And so I realized that having a private suite is gold, and it gives those clients privacy. Or even if my client was going through a divorce and just found out her husband's now gay, having an affair for 10 years, they were be able to cry in my chair. You know, like
and
the stories I've heard and that
Yeah.
privacy for them to, we're therapists as well.
So you have people that go into this place and they're really caught, really like concerned, and they're really, I would say, embarrassed about showing their bald head.
Well, not all the time.
Sometimes.
Really?
Well, no, she's just saying sometimes.
You should try it, Dan.
Well,
Well,
I mean,
I'm thinking about going and getting my hair. So you do like, what is it, hair extension? What do you do?
So I have girls that do hair extensions. I mean,
They do
color,
everything.
cuts, hair extensions, straightening,
So
Facials. I've had facials at her place.
lashes, permanent
What
makeup.
is the skin laser skin tightening is what I had done.
Our
with
northwest
Esther.
location. So our northwest location is more of a med spa. We do work under a doctor, and we have to work under a doctor at that location.
Is
And
there
then-
Botox is the question.
So there is Botox
Oh.
and fillers. My sister is a registered nurse, and she does the injectables and
Oh,
Botox
cool.
and fillers. But in this year, she's getting her nurse practitioner license so that she can be our NP, so we can have an NP.
So you
at
don't
our
need
location.
an MD anymore, do you? If
Once
she's
my
an
sister
NP?
gets her NP, we won't need an MD anymore, which is nice.
Yep.
But she's putting the Botox and injectables on hold this year because she's coming in full force next year. So we're coming in full force next year with all
Tell
of that.
her that we're all going to be wrinkly and sad, and that's not okay.
All my salon girls are like, "What do you mean she's not doing Botox?"
Well, I'm
What
curious.
is your most popular
let me ask you a
service?
question here, though. So, sorry.
No, please, Joe,
I'm
go.
trying to
He's
make
been
this question.
trying.
Because you talked about, I like you talked about the privacy and the offer clients and stuff, which I think goes to part of what the question's about. But you set up, you have how many people working for you or renting spaces?
I think we're close to 30 girls.
Right, 30.
Wow.
So that's a lot of not employees, right? But
No.
they're associated with you. They share the name and everything, right?
Yeah, they
And
work.
You
It's
still
real estate.
right, but you're still getting best. You're still getting voted best in Las Vegas, which I think is very impressive because I think handling yourself, another person, if you're good, you can do that, right? But when you have multiple, what do you do to ensure you're producing that kind of quality time and time again? Does that make sense? Or
I am, and my girls have told me this. Whenever a girl has to move out, and I have to bring a new girl into our space, I'm very protective of who I bring into my space, and I just because somebody's on my wait list, like I have to make sure that their vibe is right. I have to make sure their energy is right. I have to make sure that they go with us. Because
so is there a checkbox you're looking at?
There
Is there
isn't.
just a,
I
you
really
kind of have a
think-
feel for it, or
I think I'm really good with discernment, and I think that's helped me in life generally. I don't know, you guys. It's just been amazing.
Well,
it just
yeah.
kind of happens.
Well, there's got to be
incredible.
there's got to be some thought though to what you. I mean, it's not just hey, these things fell in my lap. It's like okay, there's an opportunity, and then you probably took that and then built off that,
Yeah.
and it just kind of expanded, right?
It started with I want to create an environment that I want to work in, and I was hands-on. For years I did hair and makeup for weddings. I would drive all over the strip. I would do 18 hours straight of hair and makeup for weddings. I specialized in extensions, hair and makeup. From there I then started doing laser treatments. I don't do any of it anymore. All my girls do it, and we do certify and train. So we certify and train girls to become laser techs for laser hair removal and laser skin tightening. And that's really where my hands are in right now. It's managing all my properties, being there for my girls if they need me, taking them out to dance, and and training girls to become laser techs. The rest of my girls do, they're independent contractors. They work for themselves. It's kind of like real
Right.
estate, like Corin
Yeah.
said.
Yeah.
I sublease a space to them and give them that independence and that creative freedom to create their space to be theirs.
Right.
I let them paint their walls and put holes in my walls, and I let them bring in whatever they
Make
want.
their own
So
thing.
let's go back through the whole process of 2020. Everybody was struggling, right? Everybody
Yes.
had some problems. Did you guys shut your doors because of COVID? I mean, everybody
We
was,
did.
right?
And the crazy thing is, my second locate, which it's crazy because I feel like 2020 and COVID was literally just like 2 days ago. It feels like we're
Yeah.
still kind of trying to push
I mean, it
through
was a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, and I
Now we got Russia problems, so everybody forgot about that.
yeah, but I feel like 2020 and COVID like just happened. And the crazy thing is during COVID, so on February 29th, which was a leap year.
Oh, 2020 was, yeah.
Yeah, it was a leap year because on February 29th, I had my grand opening, and 2 weeks later they shut us down. So I got shut down 2 weeks
Well,
after
your
my
first
grand
store?
opening of my second location.
Okay.
Luckily, that was the location where I was a full house by our grand opening. So grand opening hits February 29th. 2 weeks later, we get shut down. Landlord makes me pay rent, and I have all these new girls who are looking to me.
Wow.
I'm new with them. My first location girls know me, and I've built that relationship with them. But these are all new girls that I've known for 2 weeks.
Did it ever cross your mind to maybe shut down?
We did shut down. They shut us down.
Had to.
We were
But you still have to pay rent.
but I still had to pay rent, and I
Yeah.
got put in that situation of, you
Did you
know.
get PP loans and all that though, or
Yeah, but honestly, it wasn't a lot. It wasn't a lot at all.
Wasn't?
It didn't cover me, not even for half a month.
They gave it to the people that didn't actually need it. Let's be real here.
Yes.
Let's not talk about that.
I didn't get a lot
I'm
of
just
help.
curious, you know?
Yeah.
Bring
No.
out.
You didn't get a lot of help, like as
No.
far as
Like the PPP and all
yeah.
that.
It's weird because I mean, obviously you shut down, but I mean, did you ever like want to maybe just get out of the business altogether?
Not for a second.
Not for a second.
If anything, so February 29th was my grand opening. 2 weeks later, we got shut down. I did give all my girls free rent. I'm like, I don't have the heart to charge you guys if you guys aren't working. I figured it out. And then within a year, if that, still in the middle of COVID, I decided to open up a third location. My mom thought I was crazy. She's like, what are you doing? We're still in COVID. And you just opened up the second one and got shut down after 2 weeks after. And I just think, and
The
this kind of
intuition.
goes, intuition, and it just kind of goes
Faith
with
in
real estate.
yourself.
You have
Faith in yourself.
Yeah,
honestly.
you
You know,
have
the old
to-
saying is that when everybody else is not
Yes,
doing it,
that was it.
you jump on it.
That was it.
And maybe that's what you did.
And that's what I told my
Well, it
mom.
depends what you're talking about. Like,
yeah, like
do a bunch of meth. I would know.
I was going a different route there, Joe, after the Wolverine thing.
everybody's
But that was
doing
really
it.
it. I told my mom,
here.
Yeah.
everyone's scared to jump right now. And if I can jump, I'm going to jump because I know what I have to offer the beauty industry. I know what I have to offer girls that want to be independent contractors. I know what I have to offer. And if people are scared to do it and I can do it, I'm going to do it because I do. I have faith in my brand. I have faith. I have faith.
Well, I just thought how impressive that. I mean, because like what
You
said,
know you. Yeah.
I do. Yeah.
well, just you know, I mean, if you go for me and people don't, I think everybody's like this. If you have a place that you really like, whether it's hair, restaurant, whatever, that exceeds your expectations every time, if you go in there once and they don't even have to do a bad job, they just produce lower than your expectations, that puts a negative thought in your head and you kind of aren't motivated to go back in. So doing what you're doing and managing a lot of people, that is extreme business talent. I'm not just saying, a lot of people crave that type of talent and go to business school and don't have it. So no,
I mean,
congratulations.
yeah, I mean, I
That's
think
very
it's too like it's you got nothing. Like you can't lose. Like you can't give up, right? And I think that's a lot of people do. Your situation is you know you looked at it and said, you know what, I'm just gonna believe in what I do and believe in myself. What's the biggest challenge you had to overcome in your business? Like, was there anything that stands out in your mind where it's like, you know, I don't know if I can get over this part? I mean, I know COVID was big. Was that the big one?
No, I grew during COVID so much.
Did you really?
I opened up I just finished opening up my second one. We were a full house. We did great. We overcame. Me and the girls during COVID in my second location where we got shut down 2 weeks after, we opened. I remember during COVID when we weren't allowed to hang out, we all pulled up our cars in the parking lot of that second location and we reversed our cars, opened up our tailgates, and we had like coffee and we put like Baileys in our coffee. We were just like, we haven't even really gotten to know everyone. We just opened.
You tailgated.
We tailgated on the parking lot.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
And
See,
it was
that
our way
is your
to like
corporate culture. That is awesome.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
that
Yeah.
is your brand.
Well, and it
you know?
exudes in everything. I know from
It
client
does.
experience, when you walk into those type of establishments and they're the individual independent contractors, you can feel it as a client. You can feel
Yes.
it. There's
It's a
not a good
family.
culture.
Yeah,
Even if they're
absolutely.
independent, it doesn't matter because it's still a culture within the building. So I think that's amazing that you've created that because I don't think you really find that in this industry. Especially,
hard.
Yeah, it's really hard to manage that.
And I've had to, my brother is huge with like helping me and just kind of like guiding me. And I always want things to be perfect. I like things to be perfect. And he's had to kind of take me down and been like, Chickies. Oh, sorry. My name's Esther. That's what my family calls me.
What do they
Sorry.
call? Wait. What do they call you? I gotta hear it. Just say chickies.
Chickies. Yeah.
Chickies. Yeah, I'm gonna start calling you chickies. I
gosh.
gotta start calling you chickies now.
Chickies
Everybody's
Rodriguez.
chickies from here. She opened up the can of
Oh,
worms.
shoot. But my brother would tell me, he's like, things aren't always going to be perfect. And I've had to learn things are going to happen, especially with this many girls. So many different personalities. Everybody's a boss babe. Nobody wants to be told what to do.
Oh wait. What's a boss babe?
Oh,
Wow.
boss babe.
Wait. I mean, that could
it's
be
a good
another
thing
whole
you and I are
topic.
here.
I know. We'll talk later, Dan.
I forgot. I didn't know that. Did you know what a boss babe is?
Well, no,
Yes,
but
he
I
is.
put the two and two together, and I think I get that.
right?
Kind of makes sense, Dan.
So let's go back. So you're going through this process, right? And let's say you're looking at, okay, I want to expand. Where do these girls come from? Like, are they going to school for this, and then you
Yes.
find them that way, or is it like friends of friends? Like, how does this work?
So my first location, it was really just people that I've had gotten to know in the industry, because I had been in the industry for 13 years before I opened up my first location. So one thing that I have new girls that come fresh out of beauty school.
Nice.
And because it's so popular nowadays for everybody to be self-employed. Everybody's opening up a business. Everybody wants to be self-employed. Nobody wants to be told what to do, and everybody wants to like run their business. And I have these new girls that are coming out of beauty school wanting a suite. Me personally, I didn't grow to where I'm at that way. I put in 13 years in the industry before I opened up my own business.
Yeah.
And I think that that's what got me to where I'm at right now, because I see girls who literally have come out of beauty school, they want a suite with me, they flop, but then instead of putting in the time and putting in the work and putting in the work in your industry, they like, oh, I don't like how certain things are or whatever. So they want to go just like, they think opening up their own location is the answer. And I'm like, you need a foundation. So I think that foundation and that experience that I had in the industry for 13 years has really helped me, because even though my hands aren't in hair or extensions or color or makeup anymore, I know how to relate with my independent contractors and my girls that rent with me, because I've been there. I've been the hairstylist.
So with all that experience, because you also said when you started that you didn't like the environment you were in, so you knew there was some good things and some bad things, right? So what did you do different? Like, what did you think about doing different to create this fresh environment from the negative one? Or did you just...
So I have a friend of mine who recently moved out of one of our suites, but we're still really, really good friends. And she made this post and she told me once, she's like, honestly, Esther, what makes my pink hair salon suites is you. I think the owner and who's running it really has a lot to do with it. And it's not to talk myself up, but it's how you handle things. And when you're in the
so
wrong...
what's an example? Like, how did you handle things differently than what was before?
I talk to my girls, and when something's not right, I'm like, look, I'm gonna give you guys 2 weeks to like sleep it over and really just kind of analyze what happened. And within my four walls, I need respect, I need professionalism, and I'm big, and my girls know, like, if something goes down and it's not okay, I need us to handle it professionally and for us to communicate and be a salon family. Like, we're all here together and we need to not hate where we come into work. So it's about how you handle things. I now, like, even recently, right now I'm getting to know a lot of new people because we're about to open up. We just announced our 4th location. So now I have all kinds of people messaging me wanting a suite at my 4th location, which we're not opening until October, but we're getting good to like almost 40% capacity, even though we're not opening until October.
That's great.
What's a story of somebody handling something incorrectly or unprofessionally versus a story versus handling it professionally? There's like an example of that.
So I used to work at a salon once, and there was like that one person that was like a bully, and the owner just kind of like overlooked it and allowed it.
Because they were paying rent.
They were paying rent, but the owner became like best friends with her because she didn't know how to control her. So since I don't know how to control her, I'm going to become her best friend.
So what was she doing bully? Was it like gossip, or was it like stealing customers?
Telling people what to, all of it.
All of it. So there was kind of catering to that. So how do you handle that? Somebody starts gossiping too much, because I think that's a problem in workplaces all over the place. Like, it's not good for a work environment.
It's going to happen, and there's nothing I can do to avoid it. People are going to talk. People are going to have their opinions. Everyone's allowed to feel how they want to feel about everyone. I just normally, a lot of my girls make fun of me because whenever they do try to talk, if there's something that I don't like or I don't agree with, because I don't want to be caught in the middle of it, I want to be fair with everyone. I'll be like, you guys, and they just start laughing, and they're like, oh my gosh, Esther's gonna start with you guys, and that's kind of how I squash it. I think I'm just like, you guys.
See, I think everybody's got to be able to work together. One of the things I look at is businesses don't like to have cliques. Some are okay with it, but like as you start getting cliquey, like inside the business, people become friends. Is that something you guys like frown against? Because I feel that a lot of times people try to like maybe get away with things or kind of talk behind people's back. I mean, is that happening with you?
Yeah, it's natural, and it's gonna happen, and it then falls down to, I don't know, you're either going to be allowing it and you're going to be part of it, or you're just gonna try to stay mutual and be, cordial with everyone and try to be friends with everyone. And it's
so you're leaders, leadership.
So kind of on that same vein, Esther, you say that you go out drinking, dancing with with these women that
Fraternizing.
right? You socialize with
crowd.
them.
Yeah. Wow.
They see you as the fun friends, like you said, we were friends, and then
It's a good word,
you
fraternizing.
have
It
to
is, isn't it?
then you have to
Little-
put your
little
business
escalating.
hat on, and sometimes there's some uncomfortable situations. So how do they perceive you as that? Because me, I mean, like I can be. We were talking about doing friends, business with friends or family, or hiring business friends to do some work for you. I mean, I can go from zero fun Corin to you didn't do this right in like a second. So, then they give me that look. Oh, she's
Yeah, she means business
she
right
means
now.
business
Yeah,
right
she's
now.
serious right now.
she's not serious.
Matter of fact, I've seen that look before.
I know.
She goes like, "Wait
She
a
gets
second."
there.
Wait a second.
Wait a
I
second.
get there quick.
I'd be
I get
curious,
there
like
quick.
when you so say you have all these people messaging you, okay, you have this 4th location, and you get to interview them, figure out who's going to be a good fit for your culture to make sure that you're maintaining your brand and what you expect
hard.
within your building, which is really hard. Let me ask you this. So obviously some of this is built off of intuition, just and naturally I'm the same way. Like I can usually read somebody pretty quick most of the time. Once in a while there's those ones that slip in, you're like, what the hell? But is there surprise, and you're like, oh my god, what happened? But I'm curious, when you go through that interview process and somebody's getting down to that point where you think they'd be a good fit, is there like a conversation that you have with them prior saying like, these are our expectations and this is
do.
what I want in my business?
I do, and I even let them know. So I do 1-year leases with all my girls, and I tell my girls, like before they even start, I'm like, I'm letting you know right now, the last page on my lease is like salon rules, and if there's ever any kind of like disrespect towards anyone that works here, or even just our clientele, I'm going to let you guys be adults, and you guys are independent, and you guys are, running your business, and I'm going to give you guys, 2 weeks to try to figure it out. And if in 2 weeks it's not resolved to where if you're messing up my salon vibe or my energy, I now have it in my lease to where you're in breach of contract and you got to go. You're not. You're
Good for
that's
you.
awesome. Not here.
That's
Well,
awesome.
And I before they come in and join me, I tell them I'd rather have an empty room than my energy and my vibe be off in my salon.
Amen to that. That's a life quote right
Well,
there.
let's say this. So, and I'll get to but my thing is, so there's a lot of challenges. There's a lot of things that people go through. And so you look at your business, like what can you tell people out there that's getting ready to start a business or thinking about it? Like what are some of the challenges that you can tell them that you had to overcome that maybe made you persevere?
I think that being a business owner is amazing. And I would never want to go back, myself personally, I would never want to go back to like working for someone. I think that would be hard for me, but I've always kind of worked for myself. But I also have, like, for example, my sister who's a nurse who works in a hospital, and she says, I would never want all the responsibilities that you have. I'd rather just go to work, do my 9 to 5.
There's certain
be
people
done,
like
and
that.
be done.
Yeah.
And she's super smart. She's, there's nothing wrong with either or. Me personally, I would never want to do that. I forgot your question. What was your question?
My question
I got
was,
sidetracked.
when you guys tailgated, were you
That
guys
is
drunk?
not
No,
your
I'm just playing.
We got there.
What did you guys do when you guys were all drunk? No, I'm just playing. Let's go back. So let's talk about your situation. What is some of the goals and some of the things,
that they have to do.
Yeah, and things that they have to overcome.
So-
Because I think a lot of people, everybody out there looks at YouTube and they say, "Okay, I'm going to start a business, right?" And it's going to start off. And they don't really put the years behind. What's key
That's
about it's 13 years
That's
you
it.
put in. I put in a lot of time doing
Yes.
what I do, right? Corinne's put in time. You've put in time.
Yep.
You can't just go out there and say, "Okay, it's just going to happen tomorrow."
Yes.
And I think that's the challenges. But what are some of the things you can tell people out there ready to start a business?
Used to work 70 hours a week for no pay.
Right.
Literally.
Yeah.
You got to do
Literally.
that.
Yep.
You know, I had to do it because nobody was offering pay because the economy sucked.
Well, that's
But
what gets you.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
gets you to this level, right?
Yeah.
Is if you got to be able to say, you know what? In the meantime, I got to work. Maybe I'm doing something on the side, but I got to do something to pay my bills. But I got to still do my education, and that's what you did, right? Education for free, where you're just going out there, you weren't getting paid. Same with businesses. You got to go through
But
the
you
problems
learn
and some of the
you
challenges,
learn.
right?
That's where I learned the most. It's crazy.
I feel like that's what I honestly feel like that's what has helped me throughout the years is I put in the time. I put in those 13 years in the industry and really got to know how the industry works. And I myself was a hairdresser who was renting space. I myself worked in different salons and knew what I liked and what I didn't like. And so I guess the best advice is girls nowadays, or even guys, anyone, everybody wants to be a business owner and everybody wants to be successful and everyone's trying to do what it is that they see everybody else on social media doing, and that's great. But there's nothing wrong with putting in the time and being consistent and getting there so that you have a strong foundation. Because people just want to surpass all of these things.
Right.
And they just, they want a salon, and it's like, okay, but have you networked? Have you?
Yeah.
I think that's
Let me
great
ask
advice.
you this.
That's great advice, Esther. Thank
This
you.
is more like, I guess, just what I see, just not boots on the ground type of situation. When you left, did you deal with a non-compete or anything that for former employer?
He's a lawyer, by the way.
Earlier, yeah.
I mean, technically, it wouldn't be a non-compete based on the fact that she's not providing the services. So could it would it like apply actually?
Well,
So
we can
for
get into that. But I'm just
Okay.
curious what her response
For me,
is.
earlier I had mentioned, I don't know if we were on the air or not when I mentioned this. I have been in the beauty industry pretty much my whole life. And I have never worked commission or for a salon ever. I've always been booth rental. So I've never had to deal with a non-compete because I've always worked for myself. It's just who I am, and it's how it's always
so
been.
you never signed
But I have girls that come to me that have worked at certain like lash lounges that sign non-competes, and I see them struggle with it. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. And if there's lash lounges listening to me, they're not going to like me right now, but it's okay because I'm being honest. And I think it's horrible.
Yeah.
I think it's horrible when they do
Terrible.
that because they don't
Absolutely.
belong to you.
Yep.
Yeah.
And everybody does work differently. And you should, I believe, I have opened up locations with like another salon right next to me, and that doesn't scare me. I know what my brand is, and I know what I offer. I know who I am, and I know what it is that I'm building. And there can literally be a salon right next to me that doesn't scare me. I don't care.
What if you had what you referred to, hire somebody, it turns out, or, rent space and turns out to be a bad apple, creates a lot of damage, then leaves and tries to take a lot of your business?
They can't because, or I guess they can. It's okay. Whatever.
Yeah, I'm just
I'll
curious
figure it
your
out.
thoughts,
if you
right?
really think
She don't
about it,
look
though,
worried
'cause the
about
way
it.
that
Yeah.
they're- and I don't know if you've ever been in these type of setups. They're literally individual. So
Oh, yeah.
the client
I do a lot
base is really specific to that independent
Yeah,
Right,
those
contractor.
but okay. No, I'm sorry.
They could try to take my renters.
Because I get a lot of people that will call up and they'll do certain business, and that's kind of the first thing they ask. What did you agree with your employer and what's going on? Now, from a practical standpoint, non-competes are very hard to enforce, and they've been the downtrend for a long time. And
Good. I
unless
think
you're
they're
within
horrible.
10 miles, however, what's becoming a lot easier to enforce is theft of trade secrets.
Can you
And
not put that out there? Gosh, shush.
What's that?
Don't tell people.
Well, here's the problem too, because if you sign a non-compete, right, and even if it's not enforceable, you go to an attorney and say they can't enforce this, they still can sue,
Yeah.
and then you got to defend it,
Right.
which
You have to
costs
go through the
a
process.
lot of money.
Right.
So be notable if you're, because you were talking about building the pipeline, right, putting in your time, and that's why I asked you, how did you deal? Was that an issue? Keep that in mind. If your goal is in 7 years, I'm going to start my own business, but I want to learn the trade, that's admirable. But keep in mind that things you sign can come back to be if that's your goal, move towards it in a thoughtful way. Just don't assume that you can just go do this. Because you're nice, but salon down the street, they may be mean.
Yeah.
And
See, I have never had to sign a non-compete myself. I have girls that did, and then they're trying to rent space for me, and they're like, "Ooh, you can't advertise me because I have a non-compete or something." I'm like, "What do you mean?" And they struggle.
That's not true per se.
They struggle, but
Have
I
them
see
call
them.
Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just
and
take
it's-
80%
isn't there
commission for the
typically,
next-
I know in the
Just
medical industry, non-competes typically is a mile. Like there's like this many miles from the facility. Is it the same thing? Do you see that in the hair industry?
Yes,
or
they
the beauty
do
industry?
that, but some of the places that do that, they have so many locations, and it kind of covers.
Just covers.
It's not specific to the one
It's not
location they're
specific to
working
that
at.
Which
one
again
location.
isn't
That's so
enforceable.
wrong.
So if
but-
they have like 10 locations and they
There's
and they
nowhere
say
to
not
go.
compete, there's literally nowhere to go.
That's awful.
It is. I think it's awful. And again,
just so everybody knows, you cannot legally enforce that. But again, dealing with a legal bill is kind of the problem.
That's the problem.
Well, real estate is the same thing. I knew a girl who she was on a team, and then she quit that team, and she couldn't join another team. I think for a year.
What?
In the same brokerage.
Yeah.
Okay. In the same brokerage.
I will never sign a non-compete.
Yeah.
Good luck to you.
That you can't. She couldn't join another team for at least a year. In the
Right.
same brokerage, though, which I'm like, that's
But
what?
be careful, because you said never sign a non-compete. But like I said, they're not very enforceable. What is trade secrets. So if you sign something about keeping stuff confidential,
Well, yeah, NDAs
and you
are
don't
different.
realize
Yeah.
that is much more teeth than a non-compete.
Yeah.
That'll actually,
Yeah.
So basically,
Yeah.
Interesting.
if you want to, let's say you have one, right, and let's say one of your you guys leave amicably. She built her own client base. Never, from the time she was with you, left, starts her own. And if you had one, you could stop her. Because you could say every single customer you have is my contact, period. And you've got to go do it on your own. You can't solicit to those people. So that's much more damaging than a non-compete. And they are enforcing those, no problem.
Yeah, so the way my business works is we would never ever have even just
I'm not saying you
a
would. I'm
reason.
just saying, like, for
Well,
people out there who are considering
Going somewhere else,
yeah,
paying attention.
with us, I mean, you're free. You're literally, it's like real estate. You're renting space from me, and you're renting space within my four walls, and I'm paying for all the bills.
And what's awesome
and
about
I'm
that?
cleaning for you
And fixing things.
and fixing things, and
Well-
you just come in and do your clients and maintain your little suite and leave.
Well, and that's, I mean, we talk about how do you get good people. I mean, that's probably a big part of it right there. You respect them right there, right?
Yes.
Because people don't want to get caught up in that kind of stuff.
And the
in
other
that
thing-
respect, that's
The other
desirable.
thing that I kind of explained, because my mom in the beginning, she's like, "What do you mean? Like it was a new concept for her. She didn't get it." And I'm like, "Mom, girls that want space from me, they're established. They have built their clientele and they're established to where they can afford a suite. Renting a suite is a lot more expensive than renting an open station.
Yeah.
And so I deal with women who have already built their business and they
Yeah.
need a space without all the responsibility that falls on me.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to keep moving. I just want to ask you one other question, a couple of them actually. But so Las Vegas, right? So what do you see about Las Vegas? Like, what's your most favorite thing about Las Vegas? Because a lot of people, they move from another state. They don't really know. They've been to Vegas. They do the gambling and they've been done the nightlife and stuff. But like, what are the things that you do around Las Vegas, like hobbies or things for entertainment that you do?
He wants to know where you guys go dancing. That's
I want to know where you guys hang out
He wants
so
to
I can get the
tailgate.
boys. No, I'm just playing.
I work.
French pets.
And
I'm a single mom. Right?
Yeah, I work. I mean, I love that Vegas is so busy, and I love that we're a 24-hour city. Did that kind of change with COVID? Things closed.
Well, a
Not
lot-
really, not now.
No, I mean, but
Things are
is there like a place that you go? Like for me, it's like I go to certain spots, right? Protein
where
house.
do
I
you
like to
go?
eat there, right?
Protein house?
Yeah, I like to eat at Protein House, right?
That
Yes,
place
sir.
is so good.
It's
I
so
haven't been
good.
there in so long.
Yeah, I eat at Protein House, right? I like to
that
go
is.
and I like to get
Check it out.
smoothies, at different places. Like they have smoothies there, or we go downtown, hang out, right? We go downtown and just kind of do, drinking or whatever.
We love having brunch.
Yeah.
Where?
Anywhere we go to anywhere, like we try different brunch places.
Oh, that's
so
Yeah.
it's not like a one place. We don't like going to one place and we go there all the time. We like going to different places. Like,
Try 'em
this
out.
new place came out, or look how cute it is. It has like Instagrammable little places for us to take pictures.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
like
yeah.
going to new
Gram-worthy,
places.
gram-worthy.
Why
Gotcha.
did you decide Vegas is the place that you're opening up your business?
I think it was more of, like I said, I was just trying to move out of my parents. My parents were living in Cali. So my parents lived in Cali, and I grew up in Vegas, and my siblings were out here. Two of my siblings were out here in Vegas, and I pretty much grew up here, so I felt like Vegas was home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to come back to home and get out of the parents'
Salon
house.
fits the
Yeah.
mold here.
Let's say this one last thing. So, what do you think about this housing market, right? If people out there are like, man, this thing's never going to stop, right? And I feel that we're at the height. Now, we're going to keep going, but I feel we're at the height. What do you think?
She can address commercial real estate. Actually.
No, let her go. Let her go. Let's hear it.
I hope it's at the height. I hope it starts going down because I want to purchase.
Wow, see?
See?
So do you feel like right now is the best time, or is it a good time to buy still? I mean, if you got to live in a house and it's a primary, you don't feel like it's a... Explain.
I'm waiting
She's
to
got
buy.
great instincts. So
So I was actually thinking, sorry, you guys.
No, I like this.
I actually was thinking about purchasing a home this year. Financially, I'm like, I'm there. I can purchase, a home. And instead of purchasing a home, I decided to open up a new location.
there you go.
Because of the house market being so high. And I'm like, you know what? Let me open up a new location so that when the market drops, I
like
can
it,
literally
'cause
buy
that's-
whatever I want.
That's,
Right.
that's
Yeah.
going to make more than your equity will.
So
Yeah.
I decided
Like,
instead of
yeah.
buying a house to open up a new location.
And it's worked out really well.
I
Yeah.
love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yep.
What do you think
Okay,
about
so
the stock market?
Yeah.
S&P 500, do you have any opinions on that?
I do stocks actually, and
Oh, you
I
do? Okay,
Yeah,
see?
I do stocks.
I mean, you're just opening up a whole nother
What-
can of worms here.
Yeah.
I want to know because you were dead right about how you started your business, dead right about
know.
investing in COVID,
We'll
dead
talk-
right about that. So
We're gonna-
top 5
We're
picks.
running out of time. Here's the
Well, she's
thing.
got to give me a top 5
I know.
picks.
Top 5 picks.
Here's the thing.
I wanna
So
get rich,
we have a
Dan.
Thursday show we're going to bring up. We can talk about that.
No, yeah, you got to go on that.
We got to keep moving though because we got other things to talk about. Because Shannon and over here, Corinne, you guys are talking about it's National Women's Day and what is the
International Women's Day.
International Women's Day? I don't know. It's a women's thing here today, and so
Except for some
I want to
countries.
know. Are you guys saying like, okay, what's the percentage of homeowners that are women, business
Well,
homeowners?
Corinne
Like, what
and
is
I
that?
are going to give some different stats. And Corinne, I'm going to let you because she's excited about
Okay,
this.
I am excited about this
Look,
because
she took it.
I am.
Get it.
Women and real estate, like I said, that is home. That is where I live. So since 2005, I have bought and sold 5 properties of my own. Real estate has been extremely, empowering for me. There is nothing more to me. There is very few things in this world for me that is more empowering than buying your own house, making the decision by yourself. I like these pink carpets. I don't have to ask anybody's permission. But honestly, for women and for men too, please, this is what I always say to everybody. And I had to say it to a new agent today. It's like, you live in that house, you pay the bills, you pay half the mortgage or whatever. Please check to see that your name is also on title, on deed. That is like one of my pet peeves right now. It's like where usually it's the wife that doesn't know. Oh, I didn't know that. Honestly, if you can't find the paperwork,
That was
talk to me. I can look it up for you.
That was completely backwards when we bought our house.
You
My
were
wife-
not on the
I
title?
was not on the title.
Well, that's okay.
Because I forgot about it.
That was strategic though. I think she did that on purpose.
might
She's
still not
smart.
be-
I like her a lot.
You're an
I
attorney
your
and
wife.
you didn't know what was going on.
I told her to, because her credit happened to be a little better than mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
that,
So I was like,
I
just
get
you
that.
go. Don't.
But I
touch
get
it.
that. I get that. Sometimes it is the person who has the bigger income, the better credit score, who will be the main borrower, right, Dan?
Right.
Or the only borrower. But after that stuff is done, go and get that. Put your name on that
We
title.
should change your names, then we put both on.
Oh, that's such a pain. Don't
I know.
even get.
But
me
she
started
liked
on
Dragon,
changing
so she
names.
couldn't give up
I do
Dragon,
like
so.
that too.
Dude, it's
so,
a great
you know.
marketing tool. I would
It
use
is,
Dragon
it is.
on everything. It would just be a flame dragon on everything I
but
put out.
please, that is one of my pet peeves. Like I have had the female part usually of the dual income or the dual homeowner,
Yeah.
where they didn't even know. It's like, Corinne, am I on the title? Or all of a sudden we're getting a divorce, or we're figuring out. Put it in a trust.
Yeah.
Honestly, please check that out. Okay. I've had when we're signing contracts where there's both very strong equal partnership, but when it came to the contract part, I'm trying, Corinne, you don't need to explain it to me. Just I'll sign wherever Bob signs. It's like, no, please let me explain this to you. So yeah.
What do you
Gotcha.
got to add to that, Shannon?
Well, we'll kind of go back into the subject matter, International Women's Day, right? So I was looking
International.
at international. That's what I said. International.
I know. I just make sure Dan knows.
They have
Mom's
women
Day.
International.
Is it Mom's Day, International Mom's Day? What's the next one going to be?
You know what?
Mother's
Dan,
Day is in
honestly,
May,
You guys, this man,
we have
she's
to
a
do.
woman
Bitterness.
supporter. Okay, but did you know in the last 20 years there is 114% more female entrepreneurs in the U.S. today than 20 years ago? That's a huge jump.
Yep.
And it also states that 90.3% of women hold micro businesses more frequently than the 82.3% of men.
what?
Micro businesses. So even think about like the whole online and being able, because think about the
Those numbers-
stay-at-home mom, right?
Ni-
That didn't have that
90 point-
opportunity.
90
90.3. I'm
Of
being
what?
very specific. 93.3. You're
KXNT.
So more women hold micro businesses than men is
What's
what
a
it's
micro
stating.
business?
So smaller businesses. So if they even think about like we have this online opportunity now that we didn't really have 20 years ago, and now we can build these businesses. So even the stay-at-home mom that's taking care of her children can start building a business. And so those are those micro businesses that people.
Wait a minute. I
Cottage
still don't
industry
understand
are
the stat. 92% of 100% and 82%.
So of the entrepreneurs, 90.3% are of women hold micro, and men is 82.3%. I don't know what the 0.3s.
82.
Are
So
we going to get stuck on this?
Well,
there's
listen,
more women that own micro.
Yes,
Okay,
that's what I
all right.
said.
I
You said that twice
think
already.
what people want to
I'm
know
sorry,
is
that was just confusing.
I know you
Jill
were
didn't know math was
your
involved
your kids are
tonight.
grown, right?
Yes.
But you know
They
you
are,
have
and they're both women,
right,
homeowners.
right, and you have kids at home,
I have
right?
2 boys at
So
home.
I think people want to know, okay, if you guys are going through the challenges, what are the challenges you guys face trying to be an entrepreneur and run business and run family? Like, what's the hardest thing?
Well, for me specifically, I'm a single mom, so I have a 10 and a 12-year-old. So I have elementary, middle school, and they're boys, and as a single mom, it is hard because and I know Esther over here understands because she has a son. It's a different way. And so you're just kind of, I think every parent does this. You're kind of figuring it out as you go. We all do that. But for me, it's figuring out the coordination and also allowing myself that space and being okay with the fact that maybe I'm not home every single night because there are a lot of business meetings or opportunities that I have in the evening, or I work 7 days a week. Let's be real. When you're building a business, I may not work 10 hours on a Saturday, but I put in my hours and I put in my time. And if somebody calls me, I'm going to pick up the phone because ultimately the way I see it is that is the food that is put on my kids' table. That is their education. That is their experience. That is the life that they get
I
to
used
have.
to tell my
But it's
children,
a
I
lot to juggle.
said, you children cost money.
Yeah.
I gotta
Yeah.
go to work.
Right. And it's a lot to juggle. It
What
really
about
you
you,
know, we
Esther?
come
I want
from-
to
oh,
get
sorry.
Esther's
Esther, what you
opinion.
got? I'm sorry, I didn't
What do you?
What's the hardest thing with
Yeah, because
kids and
listen, this
business?
is the topic about women. You said you're single, right? So go ahead.
Yeah. For me, it's time and balancing it because with 30 girls, I was just my mom was telling me the other day, she's like, "Oh, where are you going?" Or my son's like, "Let me guess, another birthday dinner." With 30 girls, I'm like, "Baby, there's only 12 months in a year, and I got 30 girls. That's like 2 to 3 birthday dinners a month.
Yeah.
And that includes dancing, getting shit faced, having to order an
Oh my
Uber.
God, I love you.
It's the balance.
See, but I think a lot of times, and I can't speak for kids, but sometimes they just don't understand, or they maybe feel jealous, or they feel like
It's
left
hard.
out.
Well,
It's
with
hard,
my
right?
son
It is
right
really
now,
hard.
he's 15, so I'm sure he doesn't want me around. I'm sure he wants, he's
Yeah.
15. He doesn't want mom around. He doesn't want to kick it with me.
Yeah.
Like, he's a 15-year-old. He doesn't want mom around. But now, to be completely honest with you guys, within the last couple, months, I'm realizing that's all great. I remember being 15 and wanting my own space as well. But I'm starting to realize I need to cut down on some of those things and find that balance and be there more for my son because I need
Yeah.
to
Well, I
watch
think that's fair. I
things.
mean, and I go through, and I don't believe in balance. I don't believe in it. I
don't believe
think
balance?
no, I don't believe
always
in
go on the
balance.
left,
I
or-
believe in seasons. Like there's going to be times where you're driving business hard, and it is going to pull time away from family.
That's true.
And then there's times where hey, it's rolling, and they're taking care of themselves, and I got everything structured out, so I can spend more time. Maybe we go on a vacation together,
Yeah.
and that is the balance. But I think it does go in waves, and I kind of come to a place in my life where I know when it's time to put my head down, and I just have direct conversations with my kids. I'm like, listen, this is where we're going, and this is okay. So when I hit this goal, this is what we're going to do. And so it gets them excited so I can remind them. But it is, it's rough to do it especially as a single mom
It
to
is.
run a
What is the
business.
purpose of Women's International Day? Like, what are they honoring? I guess that's the
International
question. I mean,
reminding you guys that we're amazing.
okay.
right.
Like, what is the purpose?
Dan over here.
I just want to
Dan's
know.
like, women, what do they ever do?
It really is about just taking the time to recognize women and also equality. I mean, yes, I think our culture has really changed when it comes to women in business, but there is still that gap. There is that space where women are not treated equally
Nope.
and women aren't paid equally, and they're not seen. Like, if I walk in the room versus Joe, there's going to be a quick perception of me versus Joe, and it's going to be very
Absolutely.
different, right?
Do you
It's just
feel the
facts.
same
We
way,
gotta lose
Corin?
that
About
battle.
Not
that?
at all. Everybody treats me just like they treat you.
I have a horrible time with handymen. They think that because I'm a girl, I don't know what I'm doing. They
Yep.
think that because I'm a girl, they can charge me more. And I have literally gotten into it with handyman. And I haven't, to this day, found one handyman that the moment that they choose to ask me out on a date, if I say no, they start BSing on the work.
Oh, yeah, that's another thing.
They start BSing the work? What do you mean?
Like they do they give me an amazing quote. They start doing a great job with the work, and
Until
then they
you
start
won't sleep with
flirting,
them.
and they're like, "Oh, once I'm done, we should go to dinner." And then the moment you say no, all of a sudden,
Oh,
they're like
so
not
they
showing
yeah.
up.
Wait.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
not showing
They
up. They
flirt
don't.
with you while they're trying to do the work.
While they're trying to do in the beginning,
Wow,
they yes.
opportunist.
Dan, it's a
And
thing.
and I have never
You
been
haven't
able
happens.
Well,
You know what?
Dan,
It's because she's a single
I
woman
literally-
that needs. Yeah,
I
that's
literally
what it is.
put a story up yesterday because I got tired of it. I
Yes.
said, hey, PSA, public service announcement, people, just because your girl has a single sign does not mean that I want to be blown up with go on a date. Like, can you let me breathe and be a mother and own a business?
By the way, Esther, I
Stop.
have a great
Wow.
handyman who will not do that kind of.
But,
Perfect.
but
Yeah,
that's the
I
thing,
need
though,
one.
is
Absolutely.
that as women, though,
I
as
get
women
that, yeah.
business owners, men, and I'm not saying all, for sure, one, like, not at all. I mean, that's ridiculous. I don't like blanket
Like 98%
statements.
though.
But there is, like, I have
100%
men
in this
men that will reach out to me and pretend that they want to look at business with me. You know, oh, I'm interested in starting my own business, or I need help with marketing or consulting, whatever that is. And then, oh, but let's go do dinner. Actually, I can't, but we can maybe meet up for coffee, sit down and have a conversation, and then I can let you know,
I know.
how I can provide
I
services.
know.
Things start
And-
changing.
And things start changing, and they waste your time. Like, that is an
Esther,
actual issue.
you can concur.
Absolutely.
She just did.
Absolutely. And
a
it
problem.
sucks because when I hire a handyman and I give them the deposit and they start doing the work and you start dishing all this money, and then the moment they start seeing that you're not interested in going in that date, but you need them to finish the job, they literally like half-ass the rest of the job or they
Oh,
don't finish
wow,
it.
they're using it as a tool.
And I have put the money out.
I saw
and
one
so
of
it's
name
harder
drop
for
right
us. It's harder for us where I have put money out and have had to
You
have
guys
work
are just
done
preaching to the
completely
choir right
redone.
now.
I believe it.
Listen, that's
I
why
believe
you
it.
guys need to get men so they do the job for you.
Hey, but
right?
there's an
There's so
upside,
much
right?
work.
There is an
Men are so
upside,
much
right?
work.
Like you get out speeding
Did you?
tickets.
She
though.
just said men are so much work. Girl,
I'll have 4 salons. I'd rather
Oh
have
my
4
God,
salons
yes.
than
Like,
one man.
I have 30 women in the beauty industry, and I'd rather do that than deal with a man.
One man.
Well,
you guys, I mean, you don't get speeding tickets, right?
All the time.
There's an upside. You get speeding tickets.
I used to. Yeah.
I don't.
I have 12 allegations
I
from
like
my
too
younger days,
innocent.
and anyhow, I got a story because
Really? That's the inequality. You get speeding
I
tickets.
said there's a plus. That's all I was saying. I didn't say it was, but a couple of years ago, my wife's driving, was going like 15 over, and I told her to slow down, but she's like, sorry, Lindsay.
That's all right.
But anyhow, we get pulled over, and like she's like, oh, and she was pregnant at the time, so she's like, oh, I'm just gonna tell him I'm sick and gonna throw up. I'm like, it's never gonna work. He'd shoot me if I did that. And so she shows immediately, just like, oh, I'm sick. I don't know what I was doing. He's like, okay, I'll see you later. I'm like, that's the most amazing thing I've ever witnessed.
yeah.
Like he would have took me out and arrested me if I started. It's like none of that.
Yeah.
Nonsense.
You have to
You're
be smart.
sick. You're
Find
drunk.
something
That's
else.
what you are. That's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
but you know
Yeah.
what though? Well, no, you don't want to get me started. You don't.
Oh,
wanna
the
get me
hand came
started.
up when she got the
Like-
hand.
No, I
and
wanna
it's
hear
like
it. I
this.
wanna hear it.
No,
Okay,
no,
let's-
no, because
let's see the
then
hand,
there's
girl.
then there's the other part when like okay, speeding tickets. Okay, yeah.
I just said it was a plus.
But it is a plus. But then on the other side, as a woman here in Vegas, though, when something serious goes down, then you're the psycho. Right?
What do you mean?
Like, listen, I love you, Metro. I don't like you a whole lot right now, but I love you. But it's truth. Like, you see that a lot in this town. Like, that talk about inequality. Well, this guy seems like he's put together and he's a professional and and so she must be she must work on the strip and she's a psycho. You know, so there's, I mean, come on, let's
Yeah,
be
but it's
real.
International Women's Day.
I know. Like, what's wrong with
I mean,
it?
if it's International Women's Day, you can get away with anything. The police are just going to be like, oh, do what you got to
I'm
do.
totally
'Cause it's
going
International
100.
Women's
I'm
Day.
going 100 on the way home.
All right, so let's go back. Anything else, ladies? You guys have anything else to say about anything?
No, happy
Dan,
International
peck her up, man.
Women's Day.
Shannon.
That's great.
Esther, it was been amazing having you
Yes,
here.
thank
I
you
love
so
it.
much.
We got to do a quick breakdown of the market real quick, and I want to talk with Corin.
Okay.
Okay, so first off, let's talk about properties, and we see that the average median price for a home now is up to $450.
Crazy.
All right.
Yeah.
So I'm going to bring this up real quick. I want people to look at this. So this is 450. We had 2,514 units sold. You also had condos, townhomes, units. This is for February. So if you guys,
450. What is so? What? Sorry,
So
what's
it went-
the average square foot for that?
I don't know what the average square foot is. I'd have to
Just a
take
guess?
a look at that. I wouldn't. I mean,
yeah,
Median.
it's gonna be.
I would.
Yeah.
I would say 22 to
Just trying to get an
2,500,
idea how much
something like
house you get
that.
with
Probably
that.
22, 25. That's right there though. That part right there for people buying at that price point. Good luck because you're going to have multiple offer scenarios, right, Corin?
It's not even. Yeah, it's not even a fair fight. You've got cash buyers, but don't. You know what? You shouldn't. You just if you are doing a loan or a first time home buyer, don't give up. I mean, sometimes these cash buyers are like. littlest thing will piss them off, and they'll back out of the.
That's
the,
what happened
deal.
to me. My
Yeah,
first home,
absolutely.
that's what happened. 4 cash buyers prior to
Yeah.
me. They kept saying they would take ours, and they'd take a cash,
Yep.
and it would fall through because they get pissed off over something small. And guess who
Something
ended
small.
up with the house? Me.
Something silly.
So let's
So
go.
stick with
We got to
it.
go back
Stick with
over
it.
here. So let's talk with this. So,
Go back over here.
all right. So
I
we
was-
gotta.
I was-
we're going
I was
off topic
helping.
here for a second.
No, I was helping,
You
Dad.
were helping for sure, absolutely. And then number of units sold. We had 2514 single family units here in February, and look at condos. Numbers of units sold. You had 669. So let's talk a little bit about what's going on in the markets with this stuff. Okay. This is all great news and great data. What are you feeling out there with these clients? Like, what are your challenges with some of these buyers?
Well, same challenge as we've had, but it's starting early, obviously. But there's a little tick up in inventory, so we are getting excited about that. And actually, we were, in the office today. The rental market is actually up.
Beautiful.
The rental market is up for a number of reasons, but that's
Yeah.
a good thing.
That's
Yeah,
good, or-
That's wonderful.
property managers are kind of sweating it a little bit. It's like we've got.
I think we went from
vacancies.
2,200 homes to
Yeah.
2,500 homes.
Inventories.
That's
Gotcha.
wonderful.
Something like that?
news.
It is wonderful
That's
news.
exciting.
I think.
Yeah, these investors who flipped all these properties, and then it's like, well, now they're sitting there.
Now what do you do with them?
Now they're sitting there.
Rent 'em.
Let people rent 'em.
Lower down, or families are like, you know what? Let's rent a place together. So instead of renting 2 places, we're just going to rent one, maybe a bigger house or something like that.
I want to be alone.
Yeah. And here, if you look at this right here, so I want to bring this up. We have 0.7 months on the market. It's not even a month yet where properties are gone.
That's
right?
better than
going
the
up though.
0.5 that we have.
So look, we've seen this data before. Okay, we've seen these little nuggets of things that says, okay, market's coming back, things are looking good. Is this really like, is it good news, or is it just, hey, you know what, just as a temporary spurt, and this is not really going to
We haven't
sustain
even had the
itself?
spurt yet. I mean, the spring hasn't sprung yet. But obviously by our fabulous.
A few more
roots over
weeks.
here.
We're past
But a
Groundhog's
few
Day.
more weeks, yeah. But you know what? It's not going to be drastic. We're not going to have all of a sudden 10,000 homes on the market. Still a seller's market by a long shot.
Do you think that
Definitely.
it'll continue to uptick?
a little
Just
bit,
a little bit?
a little bit?
And that's
so
great.
It is great. It is great. We all
Well,
want more.
I
homes
want
on
to
the
say
market.
this, and I don't want to get into detail about it, but do you guys think if somebody's buying today, they're buying at the peak of the market? Do you feel that?
You want details?
I want details.
I don't know.
What about you? Do you feel like that the market's peaked, or it's going to continue to go up?
My intuition says that it's peaked.
You feel like it's peaked.
I
What
feel
about you,
like
Corinne?
it's
I think it's still going to go up.
Yeah.
I still think it's going to go up.
agree with
I don't
Corinne.
think like a massive, but when I say that, I mean, because we saw a huge increase. If it goes up a little bit, yes, but I think it's going to start leveling out. I don't think it's going to go up the mass amount that it did.
I think
agree
that
with you,
max median price is going to be 600, and that'll be the peak.
Really?
Well,
pretty
look,
large.
you go out and you look at these properties, and if you have a buyer that's anywhere from 400,000 to 600,000, I mean, you're going to go through a few properties, right, Corinne?
gonna be tough.
It's tough, and you have to understand that if you're going existing home, you may just want to push yourself to going and buying a brand new home because you got to be on a list, but at least you have a pretty good shot. I think at some point if you're on the list to get the house, right, Corinne?
Yeah. If you can wait, if you have a place to go, to sell your house, if you have a place to go and you can wait 6 months or longer for that new house to be built, then
But use a realtor if you're going
please,
to get a new
please,
home.
please. Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
do it through the builder.
Tell us
Go
why.
Go to a realtor.
Well, I get that all the
fine.
time. Everybody
whole
says
show.
there's really no sense of going to use a realtor, going to a builder. I've had people tell me that quite a bit.
Yeah.
I think there is, and I'm not going to go into detail. Look, we can all be
That's a whole
biased.
That's a whole different show.
I'm gonna just say
Let's do
that-
a show on it.
Yeah, let's just start over. So this is halftime, you guys, and so we're going to start a new.
No, my kids are waiting. They're hungry.
All right, so you guys have anything else? Let's end the show. I just want to say thank you all. And Esther
you,
Rodriguez,
Esther.
anything last words before we head you to the front of the room? And no, I'm just
Oh my gosh, I was like,
She's scared.
Do you have any last words, Esther? Any last words?
no, just thank you for having me. And we love Vegas. Vegas has really supported us, and Vegas, we feel your guys' support, and we love it. And that's why we do what we do. We're excited for our new Henderson location. It's going to
Nice.
be our biggest location,
Get
so
it.
we're super, super excited about that. And I don't know if you guys know people who are in the industry and need a good place to work, send them our way.
Do you
Yes.
men's haircuts?
Yeah.
Awesome.
What was that?
Do you men's haircuts or you
I actually only have one barber, and she does do men's haircuts. But as of right now, I only have one barber.
I got a question.
I want more barbers because she's fully
Does
booked
she do
too.
fades?
Of course she does.
How about on your back? Does she do fades
If
on
she
your
wants
back?
to.
Ew,
For the right price.
There's, you know what? There are small animals stuck on his back
Is
right
that
now.
above or below the tattoo?
Okay, so guys, we got to end the show. You guys, you got anything to say, Joe? Any last words?
Yeah.
Joe, hurry up.
Can you make an appointment for Dan?
We can.
Laser hair removal back. We
I
didn't
think
need to know
that's his
that.
best bet.
Shannon, anything? What's up?
No, I I'm actually picturing like my fingernails getting caught in you. Like, ooh.
Dude,
I'm not picturing that at all.
Esther, fix it.
It's like when you lay down on the floor and it's like you still are laying up, like it's you got a little.
Yeah, like
cushion.
you get stuck in the carpet, you get stuck, huh?
Corinne, anything about the housing market?
Yes, honestly, yes. Same craziness applies, but I'm there for you. Especially International Women's Day. I love helping women realize their worth and get their freedom from
And that's every
real
day.
estate.
That's
That
every
is
day.
every
That's
day.
not
That is
just-
every day.
Esther,
But I get to say it today.
do you have a website people can go to? Throw it out there one more time again, so I know we do. Go ahead.
It is www.mypinkhair. Hair is spelled like the bunny, you guys. Our logo's a bunny, so hair is spelled H-A-R-E.
My pink hair.
Mypinkhair.com.
I want to say, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. You guys make the show. Please subscribe to the channel, like the channel, hit that like button. Also, if you have any comments, if you guys want to get a hold of Esther Rodriguez, we'll have all her contact information below. And if you guys are looking for a job, call Esther, My Pink Hair. I'm Dan French. We'll see you guys at the next one.
Bye.
Thank you for watching the French Workbench podcast. You can find us here every Tuesday at 6 p.m. and Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. to find out all the information on real estate and financing here in Las Vegas. Also, check us out on our LV Home Professionals website. You can find your future home there, a lot of good information, and you can find us on audio-only options